Welcome to Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Lindsay Weber.
I'm Bobby Finger.
And this is episode 26.
The last episode until our first live show. We got to promo this at the beginning of the episode this week.
So people won't just not listen to it because it's like they got to the end and they were like, I'm bored and stopped listening. After the live show, everything's going to be different. So you better come see us.
And it's Wednesday, so it's in 2 days.
Yeah, so if you live farther away than New York City, you should just buy your ticket now. Mm-hmm. Get on a bus.
Get on the bus and come see us at the Bell House with Mariah and Allie and IRL Club.
I like when you say Mariah and Allie as if people are like, oh, Mariah and Allie. Like, to me, it's like Mariah Carey and Allie Fedotowsky. Like, oh, Mariah and Allie are going to be there? Awesome.
I mean, with any luck, they will be.
You will dream it.
Yo, they want to know.
Hey.
Mia.
Hey.
Mia. Come on.
Hey. I want to be famous.
Okay, Bobby.
Lindsay.
Who is Mike Pence?
Mike Pence is Donald Trump's vice president pick, and he is the current governor of Indiana. He's not going to run for re-election, probably because he wouldn't win anyway. And he is a 57-year-old career politician / lawyer. I guess he was a lawyer at one point. Mm-hmm. Just a very conservative man who is a fan of Chili's.
How did you feel about the Chili's controversy?
The controversy is we're talking specifically about this Us Magazine article that covers specifically New York media people being upset that Mike Pence went to New York and ate at Chili's, when it's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing that New Yorkers love more than a chain restaurant opening and going there ironically. So how dare you make fun of this guy for going there earnestly? There's plenty of other shit to make fun of him for.
Honestly, it's like just that picture, like earnestly or not earnestly, like I don't like him at all. He's bad. He's a bad person.
Bad man.
But this is the one thing that he does where I'm like, good taste and judgment. like love a Chili's, like for the family, because like we don't know where he was in New York. Like, isn't there a Chili's like in Ridgewood? That's probably like one of the best things in Ridgewood, right? Like,
yeah, I've been to that Chili's.
It's a great Chili's. It's right next to a movie theater.
Yeah, I last time I went to that Chili's, we went to Chili's, and then we saw Breaking Dawn Part 2. Oh, you were there?
I was fucking there, you dumbass.
Whoops.
Wow, huge shocker.
What I did respect, before we get into all the awful things about this new Who publican, I did also respect that they ordered salsa and guac with their chips.
I would love to know what they ordered for the rest of the meal. The margaritas at Chili are great and a very good deal. I really don't know anything about this man except for that he chose Chili's at this point. But I will say that the news surrounding him, which is just like a flurry of who is X stories, are my favorite. And some of them just include some information that is very irrelevant to the conversation.
Such as?
Like, fun fact, the Pences love animals. Thank you, New York Times. I literally could not give a fuck whether he likes a cat or a dog.
There are no other fun facts about him. It's all like bad.
It's true.
Because he has these very typical conservative, social beliefs where it's like, don't do stem cell research. Evolution isn't real. Like, abortion is bad.
Yeah, these are not fun facts. The opposite of a fun fact.
He looks kind of like Voldemort merged with Anderson Cooper, but then they had a baby that had whatever Benjamin Button had.
Wait, so you're saying he's mixed two? Wait, you say Voldemort and Anderson Cooper?
Voldemort and Anderson Cooper, but then if Voldemort and Anderson Cooper had a baby, but that baby had Benjamin Button syndrome, that's what he looks like.
Which part in the syndrome is he? The baby?
He's
the old baby.
He's right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Because, he kind of looks, because he has a weird mixture of old and young face. There's something, he looks artificial.
He looks like he has weirdly young eyes and an old face.
I'm telling you, Benjamin Button syndrome. And he has like an evil Voldemort mouth.
He could look like a Chili's appetizer, but his shit is bad and he's bad.
Do we want to talk about Pence any longer?
I really don't. I feel like you actually knew a lot more than I expected. He's bad, but loves Chili's.
Bad, but loves Chili's, but hates gay people also, so that's fun.
How can you love Chili's and hate gay people? That's like...
If their Chili's was in Times Square, let me tell you, They would have hated their server.
Mike Pence may love Chili's, but the only candidate the Tex-Mex chain is backing comes shaken and served up. In case you were wondering, we exclusively support the Margarita Party, Chili's tweeted Saturday night, following the Republican vice presidential pick's now famous feast.
So, Lindsay, who is Danny Mathers?
This is like literally another fucked up story.
The story is hell.
Danny Mathers is a Playboy Playmate who, like, you've never heard of because Playboy Playmates are irrelevant in the year 2016. But point being, she is one. And she doesn't know how to use Snapchat because what she did was she went to a gym. I think it was an LA Fitness, which is weird because, like, not even a nice gym. You'd think, like, she'd have more. Anyways, she went to an LA Fitness and she took a picture of a naked woman, a normal-looking woman with a normal-looking body, I assume. I haven't seen, they blocked out the body, thank God, of this woman. And she Snapchatted, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either." And then a picture of herself, like, with her hand over her mouth, like, in surprise or, like, in disgust. And instead of Snapchatting this to her friend...
Let's be clear.
Right. Instead of Snapchatting this to her friend, which she probably meant to do, or she says she meant to do, she Snapchatted it to her entire following, which, you know, was not there for this awful, rude ass shit, and got in so much trouble, like, so much trouble. Like, people who didn't even know her were like, fuck her to hell, da-da-da. Sorry, swear it again. And she, like, lost every, like, endorsement and TV
She was
show
banned from LA
situation.
Fitness?
She deleted her Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. She deleted everything. I mean, she, like, this is, honestly, like, she deserves it. But it's just really funny because this person who, like, basically didn't exist to me before, like, now doesn't exist to me at all because she sucks, but also everything got deleted, like, her entire career, essentially.
Her apology, I mean, to her credit, Snapchat has a very confusing interface. But
Yeah,
at the
especially
same
if
time,
you're
I
over
do
the
not
age
believe,
of 12.
I do not believe that she only meant to send that to her friend. Also, that's not an excuse. Where she's
Yeah,
like,
it's
no,
not
I
an
just meant to
excuse.
send it to my friend. I meant to make fun of this person and snap a photo of her naked without her permission just for my friend.
She was like, my job is showing my body and my number one priority is, like, not slut shaming or whatever. And it's like, all right, girl, like, slut shaming and, like, taking a photo of, like, a person without their permission is, like, slightly different, you know? Like, it's the same degree of, like, being proud of your body or whatever, but, like, you're being proud of your, like, hot body, your, like, traditionally, like, accepted hot body, right? So it's very...
In 2 weeks, she's going to come out with, like, a very public statement about body positivity and shaming and body shaming.
I love it. And this Us Weekly article, it literally, the lead line is, "It's time for Danny Mathers to update her LinkedIn profile." She's getting a job at Chili's, I guess. She'll be serving Mike Pence and his family at the Times Square Chili's. Yeah, it's really bad. It was really bad. And I feel like every woman can unite over the fact that, like, my biggest nightmare is, like, going to a gym and thinking I'm, like, okay, like, you can get naked and do whatever as you do, like, when you're in the gym locker room. Like, you're allowed to do that. That's what it's for. And then, like, some Playboy Playmate Snapchats you to her, like, army of horny teens or whatever. Get out of here.
No, she did ruin it for a lot of people. Like, it is a lot of people's, like, biggest fear. It would be my fear if I went to the gym. But you want to assume that it's all in your head, and she is now an example that it isn't always in your head. There is going to be someone who's making fun of you, not even out of the gym, on site.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, people take pictures of other people all the time and, like, share them as, like, jokes or whatever. But this is, like, pretty, like, there's, like, you can't, like, take pictures in the gym locker room. Like, come on.
She learned her lesson, and we learned who she is.
I just wanted to acknowledge a photo that I accidentally posted here on Snapchat earlier today and let you guys know that that was absolutely wrong and not what I meant to do. I have chosen to do what I do for a living because I love the female body, and I know that body shaming is wrong, and that's not what I'm about. That's not the type of person that I am. That photo was taken to be part of a personal conversation with a girlfriend, and because I am new to Snapchat, I really didn't realize that I had posted it, and that was a huge mistake. I know that I've upset a lot of people out there, but please believe me when I say this is not the type of person I am. I've never done this before. I will never do this again. You have my word.
You know who PETA and Maxim are, right?
Yes, I know who PETA and Maxim are.
Who are they?
They're Dancing with the Stars people.
Why
And
are they
they're-
in the news this week?
They're pregnant.
But why? We knew they were pregnant, right?
I mean, literally, every time she farts, they write about her. Why is she in the news? Well, I mean, I know the link. I know it because I put the link in. They reveal the sex of their baby.
It's a little boy.
Oh, yay. They can name it, what's the name of the host of Dancing with the Stars? Like,
How could I possibly know that?
he's the host man. Okay, they can name it after him. I gotta say, there was another link. I mean, Us Weekly is so horny for this couple, like it's unbelievable. There's a headline on Us Weekly, and it's categorized under dads, and it says Maxim Chermovsky gets ready for daddyhood while shirtless in tight underwear, and we're excited. It's like, God, like, control yourself, Us Weekly, right?
I love 2 weeks ago, Maxim posted an ultrasound of the baby that is.
Are you going to shame his ultrasound?
No,
right
I'm just
now?
saying it's like this.
Wow.
It's a very indecipherable ultrasound, so it's not even like a good, worthwhile ultrasound to share, because usually whenever you see an ultrasound, at least it looks like the silhouette of something that could be a fetus or a baby. Mm-hmm. This doesn't look like anything, but his caption is, "Put your hand up if you're a baby Chermovsky and you can't wait to drive your parents crazy." Pubs 8460 commented weeks ago, "I bet it's a boy." Pubs was right.
It's a boy.
I bet it's a boy.
The way that girl's carrying, it's definitely a boy, says one commenter. All right. Yeah, every week there's new things with them. I feel like it's really just a journey. I can't wait till they give birth and there's more content.
We're going to be following them even when baby Max and PETA gets a driver's license and like goes to college, and like baby Max and PETA will get married and we'll be reading about it.
I'll be like 60 being like, "Oh, baby Maxim and PETA is getting married. Remember that, Bobby?" And you'll be like, "Not there."
I was like, Pubs 8064 called it.
Bubs, where are you? Okay, we need to move on. I'm so bored. Okay, Bobby.
What?
Who is Melanie Hamrick?
What?
Do you know? You don't even know her name.
Oh, I know. Oh God. I know who she is. She is the 29-year-old who Mick Jagger just knocked up.
It's funny because like I also didn't know her name, but I knew she was 29 because that was like what was in every headline. It's just not her name. It's just the 29-year-old.
Yeah, the 29-year-old ballet dancer.
Yeah, no, they've been dating since 2014, and they're reportedly surprised and happy, which is a little real.
I'm pretty sure most people were surprised, at least, to find out that Mick Jagger was having another baby. He's 72 years old.
Right, he can
You know-
still produce sperm that creates babies. Yeah.
You know what I immediately thought of, speaking of sperm, when Mick Jagger, when this headline came out? You know the beginning of Look Who's Talking?
Yeah.
With like
The sperm like
the sperm are
struggling.
like
Yeah.
swimming through, and it's like really funny, and it's like these like puppet sperm going through the
Yeah.
fallopian tubes.
That's
and stuff.
it's like probably the best movie opening ever. I think.
I was imagining like Mick Jagger's sperm just like bumping into the walls and like not make all
There's,
these
like,
sperm that like
one
can't
sperm
make
that
it,
got
and
lost.
one is like coughing and like chugging and trying to get there, and it's like ugh, ugh. And it like makes its way into this egg, and I was like, oh, that's probably what happened.
Also, what's great is that there are just so many like "Who is Melanie Hamrick" articles right now, and the one in the Mirror splits up the segments by different Rolling Stones songs. So it's like "Start Me Up," Melanie's early life; "Dance Little Sister," ballet success; "Dancing in the Street," her shows. Like, okay, "She's a Rainbow," Swan Lake. "Have You Seen Your Mother, Baby?" Expecting child with Mick. She literally went from Swan Lake to having his child. That's literally it. That's her entire life.
I wanna transition into a little dark addition to this story, but before I do, we just got a tweet on our account that's really good.
What?
That's just @WhoWeekly. "I can't call because I'm in Jamaica." What the fuck? I can't call because I'm in Jamaica. What the fuck is Alden Ehrenreich, and is he as hot as a young Harrison Ford?
Oh, this is great. Thank you, Ashley, for tweeting like this emergency tweet because you're in
so
Jamaica.
We have to answer it really quickly. He's the new young Han Solo. He's good. I think he's great. He was really good in Hail Caesar.
I don't know who
hot.
he is. I don't know him. I didn't see Hail Caesar. I think Ansel Elgort was robbed.
You gotta talk about this Teresa Palmer person.
I'm like the only one passionate enough about these things. I think it's because I like end up reading these like celebrity mommy blogs and I like read the entire blog. But point being, there is this actress named Teresa Palmer. She's very recognizable, but she actually really isn't in anything that is very memorable, you know? She was in Warm Bodies, that movie that came out with like the zombie, and she was in I Am Number 4 and like Sorcerer's Apprentice and stuff. But
Okay, you're acting like we're all gonna remember those movies.
I Am Number 4, the classic.
But I just, for some reason, I thought she was like more famous than she is, but she's really not like anything. She is married to Mark Webber, who's like kind of an indie darling, if you know who.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, I like him.
He's like from Scott Pilgrim, basically. But they got married. They have a kid whose name is Bodhi, which is ironic because she was in the Point Break remix, which I find a little interesting.
Oh, and then name the kid. Maybe the kid was conceived while she was filming Point Break.
Yeah, but then you still have to name your kid Bodhi. Okay, whatever, sure. And no one saw the Point Break remix anyway. The remake anyways.
The Point Break remake was one of those movies that I knew it was coming out, and I thought it was funny that it was coming out, and I never noticed when it came out.
No.
And I forgot about it until I saw it on like iTunes rentals.
You're like, wait, that came out?
Completely forgot that it came out. It must have made $0.
I think it did. So, but it did make this baby. So the reason why she's in Us Weekly, which is a Us Weekly famous, an Us Weekly, like they love this stuff. The headline is Teresa Palmer has no plans to stop breastfeeding her toddler son, which is great. A great headline. Props to whoever wrote that headline, because basically this point is that she has I think a 2-year-old. Yeah, she has a 2-year-old, and she has a blog called Your Zen Mama, which of course I clicked and like read the entire blog because I couldn't help myself. And apparently,
was it as good as Happily Ever After?
No, it wasn't, because it did. Her husband didn't cheat on her with her husband's not cheat.
Yeah,
her
there was
husband's
no
nanny
cheating.
didn't send her. She basically has this mommy blog where she talks about whatever, and she wrote on the mommy blog this long thing about how women were giving her dirty looks for breastfeeding her son who's 2 years old. But what she wrote was really funny, like the way that she wrote it. She wrote, "It's strange to me to think that we now fall under the extended breastfeeding label. He seems like such a baby to me, and it is still dependent on me for so many things. But having his boobies is certainly his favorite activity, and I assume it will be for much longer. And I am personally really inspired by the idea of letting Bodhi choose how long he breastfeeds." And it's like, that he's going to breastfeed until literally he's like 100 years old. Like, he's never going to stop breastfeeding. You can't like let your kid decide.
He's gonna come home from school and say like, "Mom, before I do calculus homework, can I like have your boobies?"
Like, I need my boobies. I need to focus on this, like,
Mommy,
test
I need my
first.
boobies. Also 2 years is nothing compared to
No,
when this is
2 years is
actually
young.
when this is actually a scandalous thing. It's when a mom has a 9-year-old who is still latched on.
Like, remember that like reality show or that like viral clip that went around of that British mom breastfeeding her like 11-year-old, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, this is so weird." If your kid can stand up on his own, basically, like, and suck your boob.
When the little kid is like, "It tastes like mango," like better than a mango.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't want to. I mean, I'm about to say I don't want to do this, but I'm going to go right ahead and do it.
When have you been stopped?
I don't want to pretend like I know this woman's life and I know what people have been saying to her, but I find it very hard to believe that many people are getting mad at her or trying to condemn her for breastfeeding at 2. And I kind of think that she manufactured this just so that she could be seen as being outraged about something so that she'd be written about.
I mean, yeah, breastfeeding is a very like controversial topic. It's like women are like shamed for doing it, even though it's like a perfectly natural thing and like has to be done.
Yeah.
Especially like in public and like whenever they want. But it's just funny that like the way that she said it was like, he can breastfeed as long as he freaking wants and I'm never gonna stop him. And it's like, come on. At some point you're like, my boobs are so like fucked up from your gross mouth on him and like we just need to like stop this process. It's just funny that she's like, I'm gonna keep doing it until like he dies or like I die.
It seems like literally one person was like, oh, still breastfeeding? And she was like, oh, I have to take a stand on my Instagram.
The other funny thing about this article is, of course, Us Weekly like has to like have at least like 800 words on this garbage, even though there's only like about 5 words needed. So you get closer to the bottom of the article and it reads, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends breastfeeding for the first 6 months of a baby's life, but Mayim Bialnik nursed her son until he was 4, while Kelly Rutherford nursed hers until he was 3. And it's like, what like intern is keeping the spreadsheet of like when stars are like breastfeeding until?
I would kill to see that spreadsheet because I know it exists.
I don't know. I feel like they definitely have something of like celebrity moms, but it's crazy.
I want to see all their files. I bet their files are organized in like the most beautiful way.
It's
like
true.
celebrities / pregnancies / breastfeeding / too old / like American or Australian.
I mean,
Also,
I just want to know. What?
It's funny imagine turning in this copy and your like crazy Us Weekly editor like takes off her glasses and they're dangling from her neck and she's like, Lindsay, this is great, but where's the Kelly Rutherford reference? And you have to find a way to squeeze in Kelly Rutherford.
Oh my God! Remember Kelly Rutherford when she was in the news? Her story is so tragic.
It's really tragic.
She breastfeed her kid until he was 3. And then it was all downhill from there. All right. Can we please move on? I beg of you.
Kelly Rutherford is still just tumbling downhill.
She really has such a tragic story, if you recall.
Her elder sister Bethany was breastfed until she was 5 and still has fond memories.
Better than anything in the world. Better than a mango, even. I'd rather have lots of breast milk than a million melons.
What was I saying? Speaking of tumbling downhill. Speaking of tumbling downhill, you can use that transition right there. Did you see this like billboard feature on Meghan Trainor, who is a them, but talking about her friendship with Chloe Grace Moretz, who is a who?
Did I see it? I read it several times.
You want to read like what she said?
Well, which part? Because she said a shitload. Oh, do you want the politics part?
No, I want the squad part first.
Oh, the squad part first. So, in case you weren't aware, we've talked about it on the show before. Meghan Trainor is a third wheel in the relationship of Chloe Grace Moretz and Brooklyn Beckham. And they're always photographed together. They were there was an iconic photo shoot of them at Disneyland when they all hung out together.
Oh my God.
But they, in this interview, because she's on the cover of Billboard, so she has the profile inside. Most of it is about her, sudden rise to fame and interviews with, people like L.A. Reid, who just praise her talents, her many, many talents. But then there's a section about her friendship with Chloe Grace Moretz that sort of comes out of nowhere. And they discuss squads and how they don't believe in squads. And so I'm just going to read this a little bit. We don't agree with what the word squad means, says Chloe Grace Moretz, who first met Meghan Trainor in 2015 at Kiss FM's Jingle Ball in LA. She and I, when we were growing up, we both dealt with being left out of a lot of situations and not being invited to people's friend groups. Oh, we just think that the squad-specific exclusivity doesn't go along with what we believe in. And then, in parentheses, none of us are anti-Taylor Swift, adds Moretz, acknowledging the Queen's squad leader.
The Queen squad leader.
Yeah, it's just, they hate Taylor Swift, but they can't say it.
I know. It's also like, if there's anything more exhausting than talk of squads in the year 2016 and 2015, it's talking about bullying. It's celebrities talking about bullies and bullying as if they have like a concept or have like if they're even able to be bullied as a famous person by like other famous people or like regular people. The concept of bullying, the way that celebrities talk about it, is insane to me.
Not to bully Meghan Trainor and
wow,
Chloe Grace Moretz.
You're a bully. You're a bully.
I kept thinking about this. You know The Craft, the movie The Craft, the film?
Do I know The Craft?
So you know the Christine Taylor character who's the villain?
Yes.
She's the villain, and she has her little villain squad. And then there is the Robin Tunney, Fairuza Balk squad, that they're the stars, Nev Campbell, whatever.
Scars, my scars.
They are, if Christine Taylor is Taylor Swift, and you got your Katy Perry's and who else? Demi Lovato. They are the Robin Tunney's, Fairuza Balk's.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan Trainor and Chloe Grace Moretz are the people who were cut out of the movie. Like they're the other people. They're the other people in the high school who you only see like the foot or like the elbow. They never made it to the movie.
You see them like in the peripheral. Like you're like, oh, who's that? Oh,
they're always blurry. Like is that Meghan Trainor in the back with Chloe Grace Moretz?
Oh, I don't think so. You can't really tell.
But the other thing that Meghan Trainor brings up, I mean, I guess she's a them, so we shouldn't talk about it. But Meghan Trainor also talks about how she has no desire to vote. Quote: "She has no desire to vote."
No, but like this Us Weekly headline just kills me because it's like Meghan Trainor has never voted, has no desire to.
And what category is it in? Politics.
Politics.
Breaking on Us Weekly politics. Mike Pence went to Chili's and Meghan Trainor doesn't want to vote.
Doesn't want to vote. But her like reason for not voting is so stupid because like it's not like it's a protest. Like I understand people being like, fuck the system, like anarchy, I don't want to vote, like this sucks, blah. But her reason is like, read her reason, like read it.
Trainor is utterly at ease with herself as a singer, but she's not as politically savvy as some stars. While she's outspoken about LGBTQ rights, also want to see the receipts because I've never seen her being outspoken about that, and gun control.
I want to see those receipts
and
too,
then they
please.
include a quote from her in parentheses that's her advocating for gun control, and the quote is, "I think it's ridiculous that random crazy people can buy guns." Although that counts as outspoken. She tunes out whenever anyone brings up the election. Quote, "I should be way more aware, and if it was Clinton and Trump, I'd definitely vote for her," she says, which is where the quote should have ended, but she keeps going. But I've never voted, and I don't have any desire to. It's just
God.
Megan, you didn't have to tell us that.
I know.
Also, why did this article talks about how she's a role model for young girls, when it's like, why is she basically telling them that they don't have to vote? That voting isn't cool.
Oh my, it's so bad.
Even if
It's
you
so
don't
bad.
vote, lie and say you do.
I'm so glad she got flack for that because it's not even like it's un-American or whatever. That's boring to say, but it's more just like, come on, like you are like a privileged white person in America. Like you like vote, like fucking vote.
Meghan Trainor is literally from Nantucket.
That's the whitest place that you can be from.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. 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 Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
So let's move on to other white people I hate. Just kidding, kind of. Did you see the Tom Hiddleston interview in Hollywood Reporter?
Oh, yeah.
He gave the weirdest statement about Taylor Swift that like is so funny. It's like, my girlfriend is from Canada. Like I have a girlfriend, but she lives in Canada and she can't come to prom because she is busy. So they asked him about her, and he goes, well, they left in the of course. Well, how best to put this, said Hiddleston, chuckling. The truth is that Taylor Swift and I are together, and we're very happy. Thanks for asking. He even went on to clarify, that's the truth. It's not a publicity stunt.
God.
Which is like someone being like, I love my girlfriend, Taylor Swift. Like, why would you say their full name?
God.
Our friend Katie did a really funny tweet about this where she like took a screenshot of the part and she wrote, Taylor's like, okay, better, but not great. Maybe don't use my full name next time. Like, honestly.
This is, yeah, it's me at prom. Like, I love my prom date. Julia and I are going to be so happy together. Prom is so special.
It's just like, of course I have a girlfriend. She lives in Europe, and we met at camp.
He starts mentioning her like Us Weekly writes about people where it's like, oh, I love red songstress Taylor Swift very much.
This is like when Russell Wilson like searched hot woman things and then like tweeted like, I love my girlfriend Sierra, like she is like has hair like honey and like lips like lavender, and it was like he Googled pretty woman things. Congratulations to the happy couple. Let's continue to another person. The person.
Oh, the person. Let's play it.
What was she wearing? Where was she seen? She posted what on Instagram? She's the Who Queen. Tens of people want to know all about the number one Who. Lindsay, Bobby, tell us now. What's Rita Ora up to?
Who is this woman? Bobby, what's Rita up to?
Well, she's up to two things. I'll begin with the first thing. Rita Ora was mentioned in a Page Six article. Page Six loves talk. I mean, obviously, Page Six is mostly going to be New York celebrity gossip and New York social gossip. So they have an article about Real Housewives of New York star Ramona Singer, and she was a brand ambassador for this hair extension company run by a woman named Victoria Flores, and Victoria gave Ramona the boot because Ramona was acting like a diva, quote, diva behavior. She said, "You are not Angelina Jolie." And so in this statement that somehow Page Six got a hold of, she discusses why she got rid of Ramona, and it ends with this paragraph that comes out of nowhere. Like, Rita
really
should not
does.
have been in this story, and then suddenly Rita is injected into this story, and I love it.
Wild.
It says, I can't build a business with someone that fights me on everything I need them to do, and I want to partner with people that care about my business and who are not motivated by blinding greed. This isn't working out for me anymore. You have been nothing but disrespectful. We would have never agreed to bring you on as a brand ambassador if we had been a bigger company. I would have given brackets a household name like, in bracket, Rita Ora, a part of my company, not Ramona Singer. Who uses Rita Ora as an example of a household name? Also,
there's something sus about the bracket use in this, where I think the editor might have taken something that was like said weirdly. Like, if they had said, if she said part of that where she was like, I wouldn't have wanted a person like this, and they said, well, what kind of person would you want? And they were like, Rita Ora. Like, something, it's something weird.
Well, it's
about
just
this.
it's weird to use a bracket for a household name, like, when if it's a household name, it would never need a bracket. It would never need an additional descriptor.
It's also interesting because, of course, this comes into me, like, of defending Rita Ora somehow, but, like, Rita's doing promo for, like, Coca-Cola. Like, she's not doing your hair extensions.
Yeah, Rita's not going to do your shitty hair extensions because she has bigger fish to fry.
She's literally doing, like, sugar-free Coke. So, honestly, like, she's fine. She doesn't need your shit.
Rita hates sugar.
Yeah, of course she does.
Rita hates sugar.
She hates it. But
She's
she likes
sweet
flavor.
enough already.
Oh my god. Can we move on to the next thing? Please?
Yes.
I can't have this. So the other thing that Rita did recently was flash her underwear. So the other thing that Rita did was flash her underwear, which, like, normally I'm like, you know, I don't need to, like, I don't really enjoy these, like, pop shots where people are flashing their underwear or vaginas getting in and out of vehicles. But this one by the Daily Mail is truly, like, it's like a masterpiece of this genre. So the headline is, Educating Rita. Ora flashes her underwear climbing out of a helicopter before ANTM co-star Ashley Graham shows how it's done. Meaning Ashley Graham covered her vagina and Rita did not cover her vagina. And
you have to read all the captions.
So there's a series of photos where you can tell the pop took like 1,000 photos at once and caught like a moment of her underwear showing, which, like, to be fair, I went to a Rita Ora concert for $6 and she performed the entire time in a pair of underwear. So it's not like anything that anyone hasn't seen. It's like her vagina's covered. Like, it's not, do you know what I mean? This is not like a whatever. So Rita's getting out of this helicopter and you see it photo by photo. But the best part about this, the Daily Mail captions are just wild. They're just wild. So the first one is, Out in a flash, Rita Ora exposed her underwear as she climbed out of a helicopter on her way to filming America's Next Top Model in New York on Thursday. The next one is trouble ahead. Rita struggled to exit the helicopter as elegantly as her co-star. Oh, God. All right, next one. Looking hot right now. She was back to looking her dazzling best in a skimpy silver dress after her mishap.
Half a second later.
God. Next one. Showing her how it's done. Plus-size beauty Ashley Graham makes it look easy as she slid out of the chopper. Also, like, Daily Mail cannot not call her plus size. Like, that is, like, Daily Mail's #1 prerogative, is, like, reminding you this is a plus-size model.
Also, Ashley Graham's dress goes down to her knees, and Rita's is, like, barely covering her vagina to begin with.
It's, like, over her belly button. Right. Like, Rita cannot not show her underwear in this dress. Okay. Next one is really good.
This one's the best one.
Russian roulette. Do you think they thought she was Russian or something?
I think so.
Like, I think they confused themselves.
I think they think she's Russian.
Russian roulette. It seems Rita knew she was taking a gamble for glamour as she covered her modesty earlier in the day. So they have a photo from hours before of her holding her hand near her vagina, and so they said she knew what was coming. Also, they call her vagina her modesty. Which is
that sounds like
fun.
something that the headmistress of a school from 1880 would call the vagina. Be sure to cover your modesty, girls.
It's so weird. And then, are there any other good ones? Oh, here, there's one further down with them. It's her and
This
Ashley.
This is actually the best one.
And they're looking at each other. It's like maybe they talked, but like it's unclear. And the caption is, educating Rita. Perhaps Ashley was sharing some tips on how to safely get off a helicopter with her co-star. What does
this narrative they're trying to establish?
I don't understand.
They turned these photos span a total of 15 seconds. It's Rita getting out of an helicopter, Ashley getting out of a helicopter, and then they say something to each other. And Daily Mail turned it into 1,000 photos with a story about Rita showing her vagina, Ashley saying, Rita, don't show your vagina, get out of the helicopter like this. And then after she was done, they make it seem like they had a conversation that was 30 minutes long about like avoiding your vagina.
It's her modesty. And the last photo in this series, I skipped a few more, is really good, where they have a picture from like before she got out. That's weirdly like it's like zoomed out. It's like the pre-photo before she showed her vagina, and it says, making an entrance. It initially seemed Rita would be emerging from the chopper like a rock star, and then with the end of that assuming, but she emerged like a piece of trash.
Yeah. It's like it's after you go through all of these photos, you're already nostalgic for the beginning. Like, oh, if only she would have done it, like what could have been.
This is like fan fiction about like Rita getting out of a helicopter, written by the Daily Mail, being like, we wish she didn't show her vagina.
I love that they refer to Ashley as triumphant later on because she's the one who didn't show her modesty.
I just can't believe they showed a photo from earlier in the day where Rita was getting out of another car and they were like, she knew she was later going to be showing her vagina. It seems like she knew. This is the best. I love journalism. Okay.
It's so good. Wow. This is a great what's Rita up to?
I know, we usually don't get so much material.
Once she starts doing America's Next Top Model regularly, we're just gonna have it's a font of Rita news.
I refuse to just recap America's Next Top Model if Rita's on it. I refuse to make that part of this project.
I think we should.
Oh my god.
We'll do a spin-off podcast. It'll just be America's Next Top Model recaps.
No, absolutely not. We will absolutely not be doing that. I'd rather us do the Mayo series before we start recapping America's Next Top Model. So I think that's it for today. We have a show this week. We're going to keep telling you this until it happens, and then we'll probably talk about it after too. The show is this Wednesday, 7/20 at 7:30 at the Bell House in New York. So if you're coming from further away than New York, you better buy a bus ticket or a plane ticket or a helicopter ticket, but don't show your modesty.
Don't show your modesty.
And come down to the Bell House where you can see us do basically this in person. I don't know. You have to look at us too, which is actually even more of a struggle.
Which is horrifying.
I know. And what else? Yeah, thank you to Katie and Eric of The Who's for the theme song. Thank you all for leaving ratings and reviews on iTunes. We super, super appreciate it, as well as telling your friends and just like, you know, any type of supporting the podcast and telling other people to listen.
Spreading the gospel of Who. We love it.
Great. We love it. And it's super nice. And then what else is there? Is that it?
That might be it.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week or Thursday for the call-in episode.
Or we'll see you Wednesday in person.
Oh my God. This is a crazy week.
You will dream it.
Yo, they want to know.
Hey,
Hey,
come on. Hey, I want to be famous.
Breaking on Us Weekly Politics, Mike Pence went to Chili's and Meghan Trainor doesn't want to vote.
Doesn't want to vote.